This is just another example of how men see things differently than women do. The other day, my wife and I, as we were traveling from one city to another, we were talking. Yeah, talking is still a thing with us. 15 years, I'm sure it's some kind of record somewhere. Anyway, she took a picture with her phone and showed the photograph of a bunch of clouds. She said, "Hey, honey, doesn't this look just like an elephant?" I said, "Well, considering it's really just steam floating above us, changing as the sun warms its molecules." I like to get a little too technical sometimes whenever we're discussing things. I said, "Yeah, kind of, but where's the tail?" She said, "No, it's just the head with a trunk. Don't you see it?" And of course, as things go, I had to say, "Well, I prefer my cloud elephants to have tails and a body." So it's been a couple of years now, and she's not brought up the subjects like the shapes of clouds ever since. But it made me think about how men and women think differently. Maybe they see things differently than we do. And that's where this comes from. The other day, for the first time, I said a four-letter word. It was so meaningful, yet still kind of absurd. She didn't say it back. I felt the sting. I guess men don't know everything. Now it just may be the kind of word that most of you have already heard. After all, it's just a four-letter word. How empty it can sound when it's not returned. Birds chirp in the morning time. Spiders weave as the earth unwinds. Weather changes as it's done for years. The love of a woman is a man's biggest fear. We were at the carnival. The Barkers were calling us. Two teddy bears and a goldfish were my winning that night. Emotions ran high, and my mind was a roller coaster. On the tilt-a-whirl, she held me closer. But I could feel the heat rising up from my neck. I'm thinking she's beautiful. What did I expect? When it came out, I knew I couldn't take it back. It's just 4 years. Will she accept me for who I am? Should I try to be a better man? Could she take me for just what I was? My mind's now racing just because she said she liked me. Now feelings are things that every man has. And we don't show. That's where acting real bad. This kind of response is frankly less than I expected. It can show how reality can be all in your own head. Birds chirp in the morning time. Spiders weave as the earth unwinds. Weather changes as it's done for years. The love of a woman is a man's biggest fear. My advice to all: remember your words as they lead you. As alike as we are different by far. You see, women think different than men do. If you're wondering what word rang so true, it was the first and the last time I ever said, "I love you."